listening to the Agent Survival Guide podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Ruppel, and this is the Friday Five, our weekly recap of 5 things you should know about. This week's episode will be our last Friday Five of the year, and it is that time of year. So I thought it would be fun to take a look back and highlight our top episodes of 2025. We cover quite a range of content here on the show, and it's always interesting to see which episodes strike a chord with our listeners. This year, we're highlighting the top episodes in 4 different categories, in addition to highlighting our top overall episode of the year. So let's get into our list. Coming in at number 5, we've got our top interview episode of 2025, the ICHRA Opportunity for Agents, featuring Lisa Marzolino and Danica Stover.
Now, when it comes to ICHRA, Lisa, can you explain a little bit more about maybe just a base definition of what ICHRA is and how it fits into the changing ACA marketplace landscape this year?
Sure. So, I try to simplify what ICHRA is. So ICHRA by definition stands for Individual Coverage Health Reimbursement Arrangement. And really the way we simplify that explanation is to say it allows an employer to move from a defined benefit type of offering to a defined contribution type solution. When an employer offers an ICHRA solution to their employees, it really unlocks the flexibility for both the employer and the employee. What it ultimately allows is an employer to either expand or simplify where they're offering benefits to. They can offer to all employees. They can offer to a wide array of classes of employees. And they can also offer an ICHRA to classes of employees that they may not have been able to offer benefits to previously, such as part-time workers. It's definitely flexible and unique in the market. And it provides that flexibility, again, for the employee to shop for benefits that ultimately they need versus being offered maybe 1, 2, or 3 plans that the employer is driving them towards. For the broker community, it's really a unique expansion opportunity for both group producers and individual producers. And I'll explain a little bit further. So with group producers, obviously, you're primarily focusing on your traditional group offerings. And year over year, brokers and employers have experienced significant rate increases. And they're, in many scenarios, kind of running out of solutions. And so the brokers that are traditionally focused in the group space, this gives them the ability to provide an alternative or an additional type of product to their clients that allows them to retain that client with net new solutions, reduce costs for their employer. It also allows them to draw in new clients where perhaps they may not have had an opportunity before. Group brokers are skilled in positioning products to employers. They have existing relationships. They know how to target individual employers directly. And so this is just a nice new product that they can offer. On the individual side, an individual broker, they're typically used to, selling individual policies, whether it be through carriers directly, through ACA plans, things along that line. And so what's unique about ICHRA is brokers who are typically versed with individual products, they know how to service the employee and help them make those individual benefit elections that uniquely support their needs. So where they can diversify is looking for opportunities to expand their reach by marketing an ICHRA solution to employers and leveraging their experience in the individual market and how they take care of the employee experience.
Now, when we think of these ICHRA enrollments and we think of ACA market individual enrollments that a broker is selling, what is the impact that the ICHRA enrollments have on the larger ACA market as a whole?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I kind of look at it this way. So when an individual is participating in an ICHRA, they can purchase either an on-exchange or off-exchange plan. There's advantages either way. But today, most carriers don't have visibility into who is a true individual consumer and who is an ICHRA consumer. And so all of those policyholders are part of the same risk pool. Over time, what we anticipate happening is carriers are going to start experiencing pressure because those risk pools are combined. They're going to experience the pressure of looking for ways to kind of split them and provide products that are applicable and competitive in each respective market. An ICHRA consumer might want different types of plans than an individual consumer. So they're going to need to identify the difference in who their consumers are so that they can move that forward. We're actually already starting to see some of that happen. So some carriers are starting to make a shift, gathering the data to help themselves identify who is an ICHRA participant and starting to inform their product development process. So with that, I see some carriers starting to consider ICHRA-friendly or even ICHRA-exclusive products that are designed to that sort of consumer separately from a traditional individual consumer. So the carriers that are being more forward-thinking in that way, they're the ones that you're really starting to see rise to the surface and bring value to the consumer. They're winning.
Number 4, our top ACA-related episode of the year, Understanding the ACA Marketplace and Exchanges.
First, we'll cover what the ACA Marketplace is. The Affordable Care Act, or ACA Marketplace, also known as the Federal Health Insurance Marketplace or Exchange, is a website called healthcare.gov, where Americans can go to buy under 65 health insurance plans. Every state that participates in the federal marketplace will conduct ACA sales and other marketplace functions through this platform. Some states have their own marketplace websites, or exchanges, known as SBMs. These are independently operated marketplaces that conduct the same functions as the federal marketplace separately.
Third on our list is the Friday 5 episode that we hope helped you through this year's annual enrollment season. 5 ways to survive enrollment season 2026. Making sure you take care of yourself. And in true ASG podcast fashion, we're going to turn to an app because we love technology. But we also love gamifying tasks because it adds a layer of fun and rewards you for doing things that you know you should be doing anyway, but sometimes we don't do them because we are too busy. That is where the Finch Self-Care Pet app can help. Every user gets a little animal called a burb to take care of. It looks like a little bird. And as you cross off your to-do lists and keep checking back in, your burb grows and learns. It hatches micropets of its own. And you earn in-game currency called rainbow stones to purchase clothing for your burb, furniture for your burb's room, and tickets to travel to new locations. You decide what you want to achieve in a day, and you can place items in categories or keep them uncategorized. As more time goes on, you'll be able to gain insights from your habits, identifying which ones you're really good at accomplishing and which others need more work and might need to be prioritized a little bit more. And one thing in particular that I love, you can add friends on the app. Almost immediately after downloading Finch and trying it out, I thought it could be a great way to help my daughter establish daily routines and reward her for completing tasks. We've been using it together for almost a month, and so far, we both still really like it. Next up, we have our top Medicare-related episode of 2025. The 2026 Medicare Part A and B Premiums and Deductibles. For coverage year 2026, CMS announced a monthly Medicare Part B premium of $202.90. That's up $17.90 compared to the $185 Part B premium in 2025. The annual deductible for Medicare Part B beneficiaries also increased, up $26 from $257 in 2025 to $283 in 2026. This year's COLA came in at an increase of 2.6%. in comparison to last year's 2.5% increase. In dollar amounts, the aforementioned 2.6% COLA means that clients can expect to see an increase of about $56 per check in 2026. The Medicare Part A inpatient hospital deductible that beneficiaries pay when admitted to the hospital for 2026 came in at $1,736, an increase of $60 from the $1,676 deductible in 2025. Part A coinsurance amounts will also increase in 2026. Coming in at number 1, the top overall episode of 2025. Drum roll, please. 7 actions you can take if your Medicare plans go non-commissionable. Number 4, improve your cross-selling opportunities. Cross-selling ancillary products is an effective way to not only provide useful coverage for your clients, but also supplement your income. These products include hospital indemnity, cancer, heart attack and stroke, critical illness, long and short-term care, dental, vision, and hearing, life insurance, annuities, and final expense. Just remember to cross-sell ancillary products, like life insurance, compliantly. You must have a scope of appointment filled out with ancillary health products checked to speak with a client about those products during an appointment. For example, if an ancillary health product, say final expense, is checked on the scope of appointment for your MA sales appointment, you can start the discussion then. If not, wait and present ancillary options and life insurance during a follow-up appointment. And of course, never push ancillary coverage just to make an extra sale or to combat a non-commissionable plan sale. But if it can benefit your client, go for it compliantly. And there you have it, the top ASG podcast episodes of 2025. What we played here today were just the highlights from those episodes. We have the links to the full episodes in the notes, along with some of the other episodes that almost made it into the top 5. Just a reminder that our podcast archive goes back 1 calendar year, and there are some great evergreen episodes mixed in with the more time-sensitive content. Plenty to listen to, whether you are new and still navigating the industry, or you've been doing this insurance thing for a while. As you're looking through that back catalog, don't forget to follow along with our show if you're not already doing that. It's as easy as tapping on that follow button wherever you're listening right now. And speaking of listening, thanks so much for doing that, for following along with the show, for sharing it with your downlines. We really appreciate your support. This might be the last Friday 5 of 2025, but we've got plenty more episodes coming your way, so stay tuned for those. And as always, I hope you have a great weekend. Stay healthy and stay safe out there, and we will see you next week. The Agent Survival Guide podcast is a production of Ritter Insurance Marketing, an integrity company. This episode was written and produced by me, Sarah Ruppel. Script editing and fact check by Tina Lamoureux. Podcast design by Urban Rivera. Follow along with our show wherever you like to listen.